Jonas from Whole Body Cardio here. This is a program to further develop your lower body functionality once you're out of back pain and you just want to make a really strong functional lower body that will ensure that you don't get low back problems in the future. So the first part of our program, we're going to start to free up the hips. So just quickly just stretch the hamstring a bit, quad, front of the hip. We're going to move into dynamic stretch like this. Just starting really relaxed, swinging the leg back and forth, trying to lock my core in, so a minimal movement to my core, so I'm training my core stability here. And gradually increasing the range to stretch the hamstring at the top and hip flexor at the back. So both those movements are really, really important for well-functioning lower body. You can do it for about 30 seconds, gradually increasing the range. Then move over to the opposite side. So I'm here, lock the core in, nice and stable into neutral. Then starting to just gently rock the leg back and forth and gradually increase the range. That's good. Right. Next up, we're going to move into a squat. And here we want to do a full depth squat. So past 90 degrees as slow as you can go. So we've gone through the 90 degree squat before. We break at the knees. So the knees come up roughly level with the toes. From there you sit back, so you keep your upper chest nice and proud, and an arch in your lower back, and just sit back. So you have your weight on your heels. When you get down to here about 90 degrees, then you're going to find that if you go any deeper, your knees start to shoot forward. To get around that, you're going to have to open your hips out sideways. So once I'm getting down to here and I can't go any lower without my knees going forward, open my hips out, I can go to full depth and keeps my knee behind my toes there. Straight from the side. So breaking the knees, sit back, open up the hips. That's it. Alright. So we're going to build this into a little bit of a program. So starting, break the knees, sit back, down. I'm going to open the hips up. So dip the knee on the inside, outside. Same thing on the other side. Back into that deep squat again and shoot back out. Do that 3 times round. Then after the 3rd time, go down, open the hips up. And this time we stay with our weight on the hips and do the same thing. Dip the knee down that way. Your hands on the mat to dip the opposite way, opposite knee. And just open up the range and the possibilities of exiting out from this deep squat. I can just go down and pick up, do some gardening, whatever, back into that deep squat and back up. So increasing the functionality around the hip. Right, so you do that 3 rounds. The next squat, once again, keep that good form. Once I get down here, I'm going to lunge back with one leg. So put my hands on the ground, lunging back, stretching the front of the hip here. And I'm going to use this hand onto the knee, straighten that arm, just push out. And from here, just rock back and forth. And this is going to help me to really open up the flexibility so I can open my hips up when I go for a deep squat. Good. Hands in, down, back out. Same thing on the other side. Back there, stretch the front of the hip a bit. Put the hand on the knee. Good. And rock back and forth. Just isolate, so small semicircles to really open the hip up there. Back there and back up. Alright, so do that 3 rounds. Then after that, once again, back down to here. This time, as you've gone back to this position, you're going to, instead of pushing the leg away, you're going to move your body across so your midline, your sternum, the chest bone lines up with the foot. So you can see it in this plane here, lining up there. Once again, once in that position, just rock back and forth out to the side. And then put your hands on the ground, After a deep squat, go up. Then you do the same thing on the other side. Leave your weight over the foot. Rock back and forth. Alright. Once again, you can do that 3 times per side. So that's enough for practicing our technique for a deep squat and opening up the hips. I'm going to move on to some core strength. So for this exercise, you're going to work 30 seconds per exercise, and it's all in continuous row. So starting here, start to work the lower abs. So from here, putting my legs out to the side, just off 10 centimeters off the ground, bring them up as high as I can, bring my hip off the ground, down on the other side. Just do this movement for 30 seconds. Really working the lower abs here. After that, firmly plant my feet on the ground. I'm going to do the opposite and swing the upper body. So I'm touching the outside of the knee, swing back, opposite side. Once again, working for 30 seconds. After that, straight into straight legs up like this. Just kick the ceiling, small controlled movements. Try to go straight up and down. Do that as well for 30 seconds. Then with that, keep the legs straight and try to reach for your toes. Sit up there for 30 seconds. Then the last exercise is bicycle crunches. So bring your opposite knee and elbow together and just work alternatively like that for the last 30 seconds. You can do that 2 to 3 laps with a bit of rest in between each lap, and that way you practice your deep squatting technique. You open up your hips so you can do more flexible on the ground and more functional in this low space here, and you increase your strength around the abs. So it's a really good program. Recommend to do it at least 3 times a week. It's really quick to get through once you get used to the routine, and it's really going to open up the function of your core, your lower back and your hips. Enjoy it.